Hi, boys and girls. We're going to be doing our second read in How Leopard Got His Spots. This is Lesson 12 in our anchor text, and this is from our Unit 3, California Journeys Grade 1 student book. And again, this is a folk tale. It's a very old story. It teaches a lesson about life, and I think the lesson that we learned yesterday in reading it is that if you want people to be nice to you, you have to be nice to them. Because when you trick them, they might trick you back. And also, folk tales often begin with the words, once upon a time. So today when we read it, we're going to be concentrating on the sequence of events. That's the order in which things are happening in the story. And we use these, they're called adverbs of time. And they are first, next, and last. And a little quick lesson on first, next, and last. I'm going to draw a smiley face. So let me see, what am I going to do first? I'm first going to draw a circle. What am I going to do next? I think I'm going to draw two eyes next. And what am I going to do last? I'll draw a smiley face. Well, a smile, actually. This is a smiley face. So we first drew the circle, first, and then next we drew the two eyes, and last we drew the smile. So what did I do first? I drew a circle. That's what I did first. What did I do next? I drew the eyes. What did I do last? I made the smiley face. So we're going to try to remember when things happen in this story. What happens first? What happens next? What happens next? What happens next? What happens last? Those three words are going to help us tell the order of when something happens. Okay, before we read that, I'll ask you at the end what happens first, next, and last, but let's go ahead and just review the words. These are our sight words. This one says no, like I know that. Off, take off your shoes. Never, um, never hurt someone. Been, how have you been? Brown, brown is a color word, like trees are brown. Well, the trunks of trees are brown. Own, you have your own backpack. And then we're back to the first one. The other story words, I thought it would be better just to have them on the page where there's a picture of them. So this says leopard. You're going to have to read it several times. This is a leopard. A leopard is like a really large wild cat, and it has spots all over its coat. Here's another word. It says hyena. This is a hyena. And it's also a wild animal, and it looks sort of like a dog, a big dog, and it has like these spots on it, but not in this picture, but in real life. Oh, here are another couple of our sight words, and I should have been more organized. These two are on this page. This is very, very, like on this page, remember Fred felt very sad? Very. Remember that when we read it. This one says out. He called out for help. Out. Okay, let's see what other story words. Oh, this one says danced. Remember? He was so happy. They were both happy. He was happy to help, and he was happy to be helped. And danced is when you sort of like, um, it's as if there's music in your head and you're jumping around and hopping and stepping and moving. Danced. Danced. Remember that. It's right there on here. Danced. Let's see if there's any more story words. Oh, paint. Remember he liked to paint? Paint if he's glad? Paint. Yeah. This one says flowers. These are flowers. Flowers are the parts of plants that have like colorful petals. These are called petals, and you can crush them to make paints. Like here they crushed this flower and maybe this flower to make that color. Here they crushed this flower. So in the story, Fred uses flowers to make paints. And finally we have the word zebra. And zebra is an African animal that looks like a horse, right? But he has black and white stripes, and horses don't. So let's go ahead and read our story. And remember, you're going to tell me what happens first, next, and last at the end. How Leopard got his spots. Okay, go ahead and read with me. You can go ahead and track the words. It says, do you know how Leopard got his spots? Okay, remember, it starts out with a question. Do you know how Leopard got his spots? Once upon a time, Fred Turtle was playing catch with Hal Hyena. Hal tricked Fred. Then he ran away. Fred felt very sad. He called out for help. Help! 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 I am stuck in the plants, he yelled. Len Leopard ran to help. Chop, chop, chop. Len cut the plants off and let Fred out. Fred and Len danced in the sun. This is such fun, they said. I have never been this glad, said Fred. I like to paint if I am glad. Fred mixed paints from many flowers. Then he painted black stripes on Zell Zebra. Oh, here's one of our story words, giraffe. Look how it's the last name of Jill. Jill Giraffe. And giraffes they also live in animals and they also live in Africa, and they're animals with really long necks. And they have like brown patches, brown spots on them. Anyway, Fred painted Jill Giraffe next. Look at me, said Jill. I have big brown spots now. I like spots very much. Can I have spots too? Asked Len. Fred got set to paint Len. Now Len has spots of his very own. Look at his face. He doesn't look like he likes him very much, does he? And they're all glaring at him. We know what you did. We don't trust you. They're like standing up to him, like he's a bully, and they're standing up to him. Like you're not going to do what you did to him the other day. We're going to protect him. I like that attitude. Anyway, Zell, Jill, and Len had such fun looking at their spots and stripes. Hal said, "Paint me too." But Fred had a trick for Hal. He splashed Hal with brown paint. Hal yelled and ran off. Now Fred and Len are best friends. Remember that part because that was the last thing that happened in the story. Okay, so boys and girls, what happened first and next and next and next, and what happened last? So let's see what happened first in the story. Remember, we're resourceful. We're going to go ahead and turn right here. So what happened first? Did it say, do you know how Leopard got his spots? So at first, the story tells how Leopard got his spots. Okay, so what happens next in the story? You could say next, Hal Hyena tricked Fred Turtle and pushed him into the plants and left him there and just ran away. And then you can say next, Len Leopard ran to help him and they danced after he was saved. And then you could say next, Fred was in such a good mood that he crushed some flowers and made paints and painted stripes on the zebra and spots on Jill Giraffe and spots on Len Leopard. So that's what happened next. And what happened next? But when he saw Hal Hyena, he splashed him with paint. That's what happened next. So what happened last? What happened last? Last, Fred and Len are best friends. So that was the order of our story. We used our adverbs of time. We used the words first, next, and last to tell the sequence of the story, the sequence of events in the story. Okay, boys and girls, thank you for listening.